Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the 9th video of our series recording. Alright, in this video we'll be installing a new centos7 machine from ISO. So regardless of whether you build a virtual machine or a physical machine, either way it's almost the same thing. On the physical machine, let's download the ISO DVD1 ISO to a computer, burn it on a DVD, and then boot the machine from that DVD. Okay, either setting up the BIOS settings to boot the system from the DVD or CD, or while the machine is booting, interrupt the boot and then tell the system to boot from the CD. So in our lesson we'll build a new centos7 machine from the ISO. Okay, once it booted up, then it's all the same: how you set up the disk, how you set up the network, how you set up the host file, how you set up the package you want to install. So let's log into our virtual machine, the host machine, and on that host machine we'll build a new centos7 machine. Once we move a little more advanced, we'll set up a kickstart, and then we'll see how we can do a automated build. Okay, in fact that is what is used in the company level. All right, so let's connect to the server. As usual, it is unencrypted. That's fine. Okay, so now we are at our host machine. Let's bring up let's bring up the terminal. Let's become root. Okay, bring up the virt manager. Okay, so from there, let's say we'd like to build a new virtual machine. So let's see if we go to my home directory. Okay, here we have a directory called centos, and that's where our image is. So we'll boot the system from this image. Okay, so let's start. So we'll click on this icon and let's give it a name. Let's say centos OS 73. Install, local install from media. Let's see which disk we're going to put it on. So df-h. Looks like we'll have plenty of space in the default space. So for now we'll use the default space. Later on we can see how we can put it on a different place. All right, or let's see, we have enough space here. So let's put the OS in here. So the way we'll do it is we'll create a disk first. All right, so let's see how we do that. Let's go to that mount point is called OpenStack. Okay, there is a vdisk. All right, so let's say centos71 is here. Let's create centos73 in here. So the way we'll do it is we'll create a virtual disk or a virtual file. So we'll say dev0 OF. We'll learn about this command later on. Let's say we'll say OpenStack /vdisk /centos73. let's say we'll do block size equal to bs equal to, let's say, 128 M. You know what, let's do block size equal to 1G and count equal to, let's say, 10. Okay, so basically we'll create a 10 gigabyte file. It will take some time, so I'll pause the video and then. Okay, so here we have completed our creating the file. Right, so let's go back and we say forward. So we'll use the ISO image located in, so browse local and file system, home, mohi, centos, and we'll use this one. Alright, we'll click it open here. OS type is Linux. Let's say we'd like to assign it to about 2 gigs of RAM, and let's do 2 CPU. See, it says 8 available and about 16 gigs of RAM available, so let's forward. See, that's why we can use the default location, but since we created a new location, so let's browse the file we created. We'll do centos73 and let's do forward. Advanced option, basically what it will point to for the network. Okay, let's finish it, and here we are. It will start a installation, so we'll install CentOS. Okay, from there it's all the same whether you are building a virtual machine on a host or you are building a physical machine. Alright, let's make it bigger. There you go. So it's English, United States, which is fine. Where is the other side? Where is the next? Continue, and then we have to select some menu. We have to change some stuff. So let's say date and time is America, New York, keyboard US English, installation local media, software selection. Let's select it from the menu and go from here, which is server with GUI. All right, and then we have to say basically done. All right, software selection, network not connected, we'll come back to that later. Let's select the partitioning. So partitioning is this disk, which is fine. Let's say done. It will change very soon. It says no disk selected. I thought we did selected it. So let's select this one. Let the system do the partitioning by itself. Alright, network host name, let's change this one. Let's change our network connection to on, and let's change the host name. We can assign the IP later on. Alright, we can do it now, but let's say we'll do it later on. So the host name is centos73.thelabbooks.com. Right, and let's go on the top, say done, and we can say continue the installation, begin installation, and here it is starting a new installation. So let's do two more things. It says no user is created and no root password is set. So let's set the root password, whatever you want. Okay, see, it says good password. Done. What happened? Maybe the password didn't match. Okay, password didn't match, that's why. So let's type it again. Okay, let's say done. And user creation, let's create a user account. So let's say we'll create the user account John Doe. Make this user as a administrator, that's fine. Assign a password. Alright. And the installation meantime is continued. So since it's going to take some time, so it has to write all those packages. So I'll put it on mute, and once it's done, it will ask us to reboot. Okay, so here you go. The installation is completed, so let's reboot it for the first time. Alright, now the system is booting. And since we install it server at GUI, so it'll it'll boot it to GUI. Alright, it's still coming up. Okay, so here is the system booted with it says license not accepted, so let's accept the license. Alright, so we'll be accept. Where is it? Come on. I accept the license agreement, and let's say done. Alright, the next is finish configuration. I'll let it boot. Okay, here you go. We can now log into the system for the first time. Logging as John Doe, that's the user account we created when we installed the system. Alright, let it come up. We'll open up a terminal. Open in terminal, right click and open a terminal. So now, alright, so let's becomes alright, we have to accept this also. English United States, next, and start using centos7. Alright. Let's close it. All right, so now let's become root. So dash. Okay, now let's see what is the IP address it got, because we didn't assign a static IP. So it does have 192.164.1.184. all right, it should be able to communicate outside world. all right, we didn't do the static IP part yet, we'll do it a little later. So let's say ping www.yahoo.com. see, we are able to go out. So let's say would like to set this IP address as would like to set this IP address as 173. So let's go there, cd/etc/sysconfig/network-scripts. all right, so let's say I'd like to make a copy of this file, but do not make this copy in the current location, because then the system will interpret that that is another interface it has to bring. So let's copy it to var_tmp 0 var_tmp. all right, now let's vi this file, ifcfg-eth0. okay, that is the hardware address. We'll just leave everything alone. We'll change only the boot protocol to DHCP to static. okay, and now let's say IPADDR equal to 192.168.1.173. netmask. in the exam also they will give you all the information, and they will ask you to change the IP address. so this is how you come up and change the IP. let's say gateway is 192.168.1.1. let's say DNS1 equal to 192.168.1.251, and DNS2 let's use the Google DNS. in the exam you will not be able to do that, but let's say for now we can do that. all right, so let's save it. let's restart the systemctl network systemctl restart network. all right, it will come up ifconfig-a. okay, here we go, we have the IP address.